We have a clean start. And the runners are off. We start with 3 treasure chests as per usual. Starting with the cursed belt. Some gold, and of course, the required magic key. Our runners realize they don't have much to work with. All of the stats start below average. And... uh-oh. Ouijawii and LordoftheSynth realize what sort of seat this is going to be. They are immediately saving their game. The desert tiles have a higher rate of encounters. We're basically on a beach. And we're basically in a cave immediately. I could not tell which one. Going south, heading back, unclear, but there are red slimes. Not that it's going to help, though. Not if they have hurt more. At least I think they did. So we have... oh, boy. Those that have asked for their swamp... here's the swamp, right here. We have a beach area, followed by a little swamp in order to get to plains. Our runners are in for what may be a very difficult run. At least we see some... oh no! I just saw a blue slime, but it had hurt more. And I just saw in the replay, Drakies only have hurt. Ouijawii is back inside that cave. I am guessing based off of that movement, maybe it is Mountain Cave. LordoftheSynth did manage to get beyond the swamp, found a golem. Not what we are looking for, folks. So I hope you like all of these reset strategies. The reason for the resets, both Ouijawii and LordoftheSynth started with a huge amount of gold. Gold can be anywhere from 500 to 750, assuming the chest originally contained gold. Ah, and our tracker, Archfield Monk, believes that that cave is actually Garen's grave. It could be, I couldn't get a good indication. Our runners are moving fast through here, as I'm trying to keep up with both sides. Okay, moved right... so, I just saw Ouijawii. It looked like he moved right twice. That's partially why I think it's Mountain Cave. But I'm not too confident. But McGrew believes it's the grave as well, so I am likely incorrect on this one. We do have a treasure chest. We have 3 treasure chests. Fighter's Ring, Magic Key, and Wings. That is definitely Garen's grave. And in this case, Ouijawii is taking the death. Now, oh, and saving this, I don't know if I like this play. Yes, it's good that we have the Fighter's Ring. But right now we have a gold grind opportunity. And I don't know if saving and resetting will keep the 8+ chests from working. Right now, Ouijawii is on a count of 6. Because the 3 chests that were open in Garen's grave, along with the 3 auto-open from the throne room. In order for there to be a gold grind, Ouijawii has to find a gold chest in the 3rd or 4th one inside the treasury. But instead, we're going to see what's in the back of Tangential Castle. It is the Rainbow Drop Cave, otherwise known as the Jerk Cave, and Ouijawii exited Tangential Castle. I don't think that was intended. Maybe. It's hard to tell. What is in the treasury? Stones of Sunlight, along with a healing herb. There's the Death Necklace. And there's a torch. So I may not have understood the reason why Ouijawii chose to leave and re-enter, but in this case, it did not matter. There was no gold grind. However, the big issue right now... Where are we going to find good enemies? Or maybe just some good luck instead. First kill of the match goes to Ouijawii, but we need 5 experience points in order to go up to level 2. That was only 3. That red slime will do it. Alrighty, our tracker, Archfield Monk, is on the go. We have 3, 19, 4, 16, and a spell, Heal More! So Ouijawii is already, at least in a much better shape than before. Lord of the Synth is going after that same Drakey. Unfortunately, did not land a hit, and got hurt by hurt. I am well aware of how redundant that is. But now Ouijawii has a much better chance of survival. Gotta enjoy that agility increase. And Lord of the Synth is struggling right now against these enemies. A lot of them with Hurt More. Ghosts are no problem for Ouijawii. Level 3 time. 2, 2, 1, 8. New spell. Stop spell and repel both learned. And Lord of the Synth finally gained 2 experience points. I don't know if that was from a red slime or 2 blue. However, that fighter's ring... I have to agree with Up to NG here. Getting that fighter's ring was helpful enough. Lord of the Synth is trying to catch up. Didn't want to go into Garen's grave yet. Cannot blame him one bit. Without a torch or the Radiance spell, not all of our runners are comfortable navigating in the dark. Unfortunately, a Hurt More puts Lord of the Synth back into temporary darkness before seeing the light from the King once again. And ETAP confirming that very same thought. This is round 5 of the Swiss stages. If you've had a chance to go practice Dark Cave navigation, then you have an intrinsic advantage. So right now, Ouijawii has a huge advantage. Level 3. One of the 3 required items to exchange with the jerk in the Rainbow Drop Cave. Lord of the Synth wants to take out this Drakey. Oh, unfortunately the hurt spell rolled his HP. Back to start he goes. And Ouijawii able to easily survive. Oh, going for the... Alright, that attack worked. Level 4 is now available. 5, 4, 2, 0. Or was that 0, 2? Either way, that's hurt more! Now we have the offensive capabilities necessary. This seed is about to open up. It'll certainly open up for Lord of the Synth. He has now hit level 2 with Heal More now available. Unfortunately, green dragons do have a bit of resistance to the Hurt series of spells. And Ouijawii is about to go across. We have a little bit of a plain peninsula, as we are surrounded by swamp. But another level, level 5. 0, 8, 11, 1. Outside, and I could not tell. Let me check the replay. And sleep. So, we are gaining a lot of spells quickly. Oh, a green dragon defeat immediately! 2, 1, 3, 12. Ouijawii has found what is perhaps the perfect area to attack enemies at. Because green dragons, if you can take them out, they offer a lot of experience points. But now Ouijawii wants to explore. We finally have forest. And a Drakima. And Sparkover would be proud. We had a huge island of hills and nothing else. But I believe I see a town. That is right now guarded by a blue dragon. Can we get in? We can! But it is Hawk's Nest, folks. And the rogue scorpion says, "Get out!" I cannot do a good at Donkey Kong 64 threatening voice. Lord of the Synth, meanwhile, is sticking to the same general area. I cannot blame him personally, but considering how strong these enemies can be, especially another hurt-mooring red slime, being unable to comfortably navigate Garen's grave is kind of hurting right now. E-Tap, you want me to do that impression? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Wolf lords have appeared in the desert. But down they go. And now the golems have invaded. Perhaps we have crossed over to another zone. Looking at the current stats, at the very least, once we get out of level 2, Lord of the Synth should be much better. And already, Ouijawii's agility is looking very good. You'll note at the bottom of the screen, or at least the bottom of the stream, I should say, we have our stats in different colors. Red means that they started below average. White means they're getting there. Level up may change things. 3, 2, 8, 17. Now magic points have gone up. Orange means that we are getting closer to thinking about maybe using that stat to go down Sherlock Castle at the end of the game and take out the Dragon Lord. But ideally, we would like to see our stats in green first. High numbers are what we need. This is a statistics-based game where the only statistics you have to worry about are the 7 numbers you see below. Really, the 6 below the level. The plus signs next to the 2 stats indicates the builds that they have chosen to gone with. Both are choosing to have higher strength and HP closer to the end of the run. But that means at the start of the run, it'll have a minor dip. Two Hurtmores in a row against the Green Dragon? Nice. We do not have a level up yet, though. Lord of the Synth has now gone up to level 3. However, Lord of the Synth would prefer one more level to get Hurtmore. And McGrew, our Dragon Warrior Randomizer developer, is correct. Golems do hit hard. They have a very high strength stat. I believe close to 120 or so? That is hitting hard. Right now, Ouijawii has 573 experience points. Wants to hit 600. Not going to happen with this golem, though. And that golem, I think, rocked Ouijawii a little bit because he struggled a little bit to get out of the throne room. Fortunately, we are back out on Tanjil Beach. And, oh, Ouijawii is back in Garen's grave. I wonder if we're going to hope for better enemies to take out in here? Maybe we will see what is in the other 2 chests, but first, level 8. The numbers: 12, 4, 5, 1. Another new spell, but we don't have a menu check yet. And Ouijawii chose to... Wait, can you re-get the Fighter's Ring? I don't remember that being a thing. Spell list has come up, but that came by a little quickly. I'm checking the replay. And that was still very fast. Folks at home, if you can confirm what that spell was, that would be appreciated. In the meantime, we are diving in. Fourth chest, Fairy Water. There is one more chest available. Okay, we had learned Heal at level 8. I don't know if we learned another spell. I think I just saw Radiant. So Radiant and Heal at level 8. All we are missing are Hurt and Return. Lord of the Synth is now ready to go into Garen's grave. So at least navigating decently in the dark. Perhaps the issue was concerned about the enemies inside. Oh no, Druins have Dragon Lord 2 Breath. That means we have one item still at large and one more key that has been spent. Lord of the Synth now has that all-important magic key. But Ouijawii is right now ignoring Garen's grave. I admit I'm curious as to why, and where is Lord of the Synth going? Hopefully not going to spend that key immediately on the door. Also, level 9 time for Ouijawii. The numbers 1, 2, 0, 6. The community is strong tonight. Now Empty Eye has been represented. As we now head south, we see some mountains. All mountains are impassable in this game, so we have to go around and hope for something on the southern tip. We now have a Star Wyvern. Oh, and it hits hard, going for a Hurtmore. Unfortunately, it was not enough. Hurtmores can sometimes take out the Star Wyverns in one shot, but their HP is often randomized a little bit. In this case, it was just a little bit more than what that Hurtmore dealt. And Lord of the Synth performing a grind, I believe, on herbs or torches right now, but it is not gold. That was the herb chest. Did Lord of the Synth actually purchase additional keys? I did not catch that, as Ouijawii explores the very big swamp patch. And we find even more swamp. But the Wyvern is not able to do much to guard it. Dark Shadows 59 asks how the seed is going. Well, the seed had a little bit of a rough scare at the start, but fortunately, our runners were able to get Heal More at level 2. The tricky part was, how quickly could you get Heal More? And then level 4 had Hurt More. Ouijawii had more confidence in going into Garen's grave early, and was able to take advantage of the key that was found in there, in order to, oh yeah, not only the key, but the fighter's ring. So right now, our runners are doing well, though Ouijawii has that early advantage. Also, did Lord of the Synth pick up the Stones of Sunlight while in that treasury? I could have sworn they did, but I may have missed it. There we go. Ouijawii passing by Hawk's Nest, that's not what we're looking for. We have a cave. Which cave today? That's the tablet cave, I believe. And it is. The Tablet Cave, otherwise known as Erdrick's Cave or Erdrick's Grave. There is one item inside, no enemies along the way. All you have to do is get the chest. And inside, gold. Not what we're looking for, I'm afraid. Going for sleep strategies with the Metal Scorpion. But it works. And those high encounter rates proving themselves to be dangerous on those desert tiles. Our first encounter with a wizard, and there we go. It just came and went. A random isolated swamp tile. I'm curious about that. And Lord of the Synth, without the outside, actually should have the outside spell right now, but chose to walk the stairs instead. And a stone man sends Lord of the Synth back. In the meantime, Ouijawii has found another town. We've already seen Hawksnest, but now we have found Rimmeldar. Rimmeldar is the one town where you can always buy keys from as long as you have enough gold. We also have access to a shop here, and a treasure chest behind 2 doors. All of the keys have been purchased, while Lord of the Synth goes up to level 6. What is inside the Rimmeldar Inn? Wings. Now, how about the weapon and armor shop? Silver Shield and Magic... Oh, everything is in Rimmeldar today! Flame Sword, Magic Armor, and Silver Shield are the best items that one can buy in this game. The problem? We don't have a gold grind. At least, not a traditional one if we have one at all. The only way that we can possibly have a gold grind... actually, no, that wouldn't work. I was thinking Garenham and its backside leading to the mountain cave, but I don't know. Speaking of caves, the Stones of Sunlight Cave. We already have the stones. Instead, we have gold. And in this case, I think Ouijawii is going to go for this slow grind. And Archfield Monk is correct. You could use the Death Necklace chest to grind that way. So technically we have gold grind options, just not a lot of ideal ones. However, the grind has stopped. So what was cheap at this store? The full plate of armor. Not a bad purchase. Certainly definitely have to enjoy having those extra 24 points of defense. The magic armor offers the same defensive protection, I believe, but also allows you to heal every, 1 HP every 4 steps. And Dark Shadow's confirming in chat. Full plate is basically magic armor without the magic. So both runners have been defeated so far, multiple times. Unfortunately, I have not kept up with any sort of cold as a cod counters. But the enemies are still proving to be difficult to handle. Even with Hurt More and Heal More, at best we have full plate of armor right now. We don't have a weapon. We don't have a shield. But Ouijawii may not care. Intentionally going back into Hawk's Nest. Level 10. What are the stats? 5, 1, 1, 2. Not exactly what we're looking for. And suddenly I heard a fairy flute, even though no one has found the fairy flute. I guess Ouijawii has some supporters. However, the main support we would like to see is what is in the search spot in Hawk's Nest. That forest tile has a guardian tile, aka a spike tile. And in this case, it is a golem that guards something. It could be nothing. But Ouijawii has decided to not bother for now. So back to the desert we go. As LordoftheSynth is trying to catch up. Oh no. Druins have Sleep and Dragon Lord 2 Breath. And then simultaneous deaths. So back through we go. As we are going through previously retread ground, please use this time to follow our runners, as they are giving us what I believe is a very good showcase of how to deal with very strange seeds. Ouijawii, uh-oh! He thought he could get ahead, but apparently not, for thou art dead. Please do not forget to follow Archfield Monk, our tracker, as well. LordoftheSynth up to level 7 now, trying to catch up experience-wise. And the golems are showing no mercy. Ouijawii is hoping to get through with a repel spell. However, I don't think golems are affected by that. Wyverns are not, but then again, wyverns are relatively easy to take out at this point. I don't think we have seen anyone go into this batch of swamp yet. And there is more swamp on the other side. I swear that I did not roll a big swamp seed, even though it certainly feels like one. Repel has lost its effectiveness, so it is time to reapply. We have another cave. I cannot tell which one it was, but Ouijawii said no thank you immediately. There is another town. It is the town of Cole. An important location is the search spot south of the fountain. Is there something there? Erdrick's token! So we have found 2 of the 3 required items. We need the Stones of Sunlight, Erdrick's token, and the Staff of Rain. To get the Staff of Rain, we need to find the Silver Harp. Once we have all 3, we can get the Rainbow Drop from the aforementioned Rainbow Drop Cave. The shop had, I guess, not much to deal with. Checking the replay, not even a shield. However, coal is all that is available on this part of the world. We have found 1 search spot item. There could be 2 more, as Lord of the Synth now goes up to level 8. Ouijawii is heading back into this cave. Which one is it? Swamp Cave. Swamp Cave has Princess Gwaelin along with another Guardian tile right here. It is the Blue Dragon. We have seen our runners go for the Blue Dragon before. But Ouijawii is right now saying no to that enemy. Instead, we want to see what is at the other end of Swamp Cave. It could be a second continent, it could be part of the same continent. The Wolf Lord does a not-so-great job of guarding the other side. We have another town and a cave, but we have found Cantlin. Dark Shadows, they both have outside at this point, but not return. So right now, we have a potential for coordinates. What do I mean by coordinates? Well, there is an old man that will show up right now. Basically, this old man likes to watch over his Garden of Death at the southern part of Cantlin. In order to actually access him, you have to spend a key to enter his garden, and then brave the electric tiles of death, or the barrier tiles, depending on what you call them, in order to get into the inner sanctuary, or the secret garden, if you've ever read the book before. And then you have to hope that the old man says something useful. Admittedly, even if it's coordinates, or even if it's not, it should be useful knowledge regardless. Lord of the Synth is now at level 9, and Ouijawii is going for the information. Without Erdrick's armor, those barrier tiles take 15 hit points a pop. Remember to cast the correct spell, and you're good. Knowledge time! We are searching! 5 north, 37 west. However, since we start going north, we have to swing south in order to actually get around to the western part. So the question is, do you feel like counting negative to then go up to positive? That is the key question. What is in this cave? It is another dark cave. By process of elimination, this is Mountain Cave. There are 5 chests in Mountain Cave. First one is on the first floor, guarded by a Wolf Lord today. Fairy water. Not what we're looking for. So we need to go down the stairs if we haven't already to get to the 4 remaining chests in the mountain cave. We already have gone down. That was quick. Silver harp has been found! We need that silver harp in order to get the Staff of Rain. Magic key has been found. 2 more chests remain. Unless I just missed the second one entirely. I may have missed the second one. I think Ouijawii's going on the path to the final chest. The torch. And yeah, I had missed the second chest because I was focused on Lord of the Synth side. So we technically have something missing in between the fairy water and the harp. But we have also found Garenham right here. Most likely, the back of Garenham is going to contain the Staff of Rain cave. But first we have, oh, a second cursed belt in Garenham. Along with some gold and a torch. Now, I recall some people discussing that the number of cursed belts you find may determine where you find certain items. As Ouijawii is about to get the Staff of Rain, I wonder if this means that we are going to find both Fairy Flute and Erdrick's armor in search spots. And ETAP is confirming that theory. So the question is, which one is in which location? Even the gardener of the old man does not know. What we do know is that Ouijawii will already have access to the Rainbow Drop. Though funny enough, we do not know where Charlock Castle is, where we would use the Rainbow Drop to get in. Wait a second, let me check that. There we go, I had misread the message. Rainbow Drop has been earned. So right now we have almost all of the key items. We know that we have to search for something in Hawksnest and something in the overworld. Depending on how comfortable you are with going down then up to try to memorize the count, we may have to consider rescuing Princess Gwaelin to get a more accurate reading. But first, level 11. The numbers 5, 3, 9, 1. Ouijawii was able to count and gets the fairy flute. So Ouijawii knows the golem guards the armor. This also means, our tracker, Archfield Monk, said it best. The fairy flute is able to put all enemies to sleep. Well, not all enemies, all golems to sleep. So at the very least, one toot from the flute will make things easier. Whoa! What was that? Oh, sorry, I just got knocked out by the golem. Apparently so did Ouijawii. The fairy flute is not a guaranteed win, though. Any golem that wakes up will immediately get a chance to counter. Lord of the Synth now sees the powerful shop and choosing to purchase a club. And already speculation about where Erdrick's sword is located. Well, Ouijawii wants to check out that final chest in Garen's grave. So, folks, we may have the possibility of needing to find Charlotte Castle in order to get Erdrick's sword. Lord of the Synth now has all the keys necessary. That is correct, Dark Shadows. We have not found the castle yet. At least I haven't seen it. Lord of the Synth has now found the Stones of Sunlight Cave and will receive some gold. While Ouijawii is now at the top of Garen's grave, or technically bottom, and we're about to see what is inside that key chest. Hopefully not a key. Dragon Scale! That is not what we are looking for, folks. So now comes a very interesting question. We know that... Hold on. Just to clarify some of the discussion in chat, Lord of the Synth did purchase the club in... I could have sworn the club was in Rimmeldar. It may have been in a different location. Was it actually purchased? We will hopefully get clarification soon. To get back to where I was going, at this point, we now know that Erdrick's sword has to be located in Charlock Castle, which we have not seen yet. So right now, this makes things interesting. We have a golem that can easily take us out, even with full plate armor. And even with the fairy flute. The town of Cole has broadsword, but not enough money to purchase it. So Ouijawii, I think, is going to attempt to fight strong enemies here. Hopefully not too many enemies will be necessary to gain the necessary gold. The Armored Knight has gone down, but that is not enough gold. We need one more. A Stone Man. I do not recall if they offer enough gold. Fortunately, they do not offer... Okay, they offer some hurt more resistance, but... in this case, the Stone Man stayed asleep throughout... Oh! I spoke too soon. And the Stone Man said no. And chat is agreeing. We have approached the 53-minute mark here, so let's at least cover what we have found so far. Tangential Castle's throne room had nothing useful unless you consider the cursed belt useful for either selling fodder or fashion statements. The treasury, which required a key from Garen's grave, had the Stones of Sunlight and the Death Necklace. Garen's grave had a key to get into the treasury, along with the Fighter's Ring. The other items ended up being not important. Garenham had a second cursed belt. The Mountain Cave had the Silver Harp, but unfortunately I had missed an item amongst the rest of the chests. We know that the Fairy Flute is the overworld item. We know that Cole had Erdrick's token. We know that Ouijawii has just gained a level. Let's go through those numbers. 6, 22, 2, 17. And at least one spell learned, if not two. It looked like the spell of Hurt was learned. But I did not tell if Return was learned. And yes, there has been a lot of early death and swamp, followed by more death and more swamp. That is kind of the nature of a good deal of seeds here. The agility stat, thanks to that level up, is already in green. We can run from a number of enemies easily with that stat of 76. If we can get it even higher, we may be able to damage break a number of strong enemies. By damage break, I mean have those enemies deal only single-digit worth of damage, as Lord of the Synth is now at level 11. Also, I have not seen the outside, or not the return spell, so we are still looking for one more spell, it looks like. And Ouijawii is going back and forth, potentially setting up a death warp? I had missed which screen Ouijawii was in. Admittedly, this could also be a possible grind, but I would think if going back and forth, we are going to see a death warp, but apparently not. Ah, our tracker Archfield Monk confirms broadsword can be purchased. And I do confirm 1500 is enough. Lord of the Synth is now in Mountain Cave, I believe. No, that's Swamp, excuse me. Gotta love the Radiant revealing my foolishness. Ouijawii, enjoy that broadsword. The Metal Scorpion guards the way to Coal, but Lord of the Synth is able to make it in. Cyan Vio has asked if the token was there. It is. Lord of the Synth has basically answered your question as well. So, as far as what we are missing, we have seen the Staff of Rain Cave. We have found Cantlin. We haven't found Breckenary. And we haven't found Charlock. Cyan Veo has asked where the Silver Harp was. The Silver Harp was in the Mountain Cave. And I believe the Mountain Cave was on the other side of Swamp Cave. Unfortunately, Ouijawii is sent back to start due to a Star Wyvern. At this point, he knows that Erdrick's armor is in Hawksness. It is possible that Charlock is on the other side of Swamp Cave, but I have not had a chance to view all of Swamp Cave yet. And I don't think Ouijawii has either. It takes a while to get to Swamp Cave here. But right now, Ouijawii wants that magic, or wants that Erdrick's armor, which is certainly filled with magic. And Paradox, we have not found Breckenary yet. It would be funny if the two were next door. Alright, Ouijawii versus the Golem. And I am immune to the fairy flute this time. The Golem is not. However, anytime that Golem wakes up, it will attack. So what we need are Healmores to keeping the Golem asleep. Because 2 hits in a row is death. Ouijawii has 4 more Healmores left. That Golem wants to wake up. Someone is asking about Golem HP range. I think Golems typically have at least 150 hit points, maybe more, maybe less. Oh, I was... okay, between 114 and 153. Maybe I was thinking 115. Either way, this is a beefy Golem, folks. As Lord of the Synth now has the coordinates from Cantlin. We are on the last Healmore, folks, and this Golem is not making it easy. The Golem has been defeated! Ouijawii, wear that armor with pride. Or maybe disgust for having to deal with such a slogfest. And looking at my handy-dandy cheat sheet, I think that was a max HP Golem, folks. For those interested in having hopefully better seeds than what our runners have, first of all, don't have me roll them. Second of all, head to the Discord channel and chat. You will have a chance to download the Dragon Warrior Randomizer and try them out yourself. So now Ouijawii has the best armor in the game. And, okay, the Mountain Cave chest I had missed was gold. Level 13 now. The numbers, 2, wait. What, that was 2 and 1, but not in the normal order. What happened there? Were there 2 empty eye levels? And our tracker confirming 2 hit points, 1 magic point. That is one of the worst levels we have seen so far in this tournament. I do not know what levels our runners are going to need in order to survive going down Sharlock, much less take out the Dragon Lord. But right now, those stats are not looking pretty. Lord of the Synth, I believe, has found all the items in the mountain cave. So, I don't know if this is a grind or a manual walk. And McGrew, I would not object to a sword dive, but yeah, you just said it. We do not know where Sharlock Castle is. We don't know where Breckenary is. We have 2 locations unaccounted for. This is a very rare sighting. The Armor Knights are not causing too many problems. I think we have found the northern end of the world. That edge was very flat. Ouijawii has found Rimmildar again, and good timing. No need to purchase the club. But this is a good time to cast Repel and prepare to go for it. In the meantime, look on Lord of the Synth's side. Lord of the Synth was in the mountain cave, took a death warp. The 5 chests open, plus the 3 in the throne room, make 8. This 9th chest is going to be there forever. Because Lord of the Synth already has the death necklace, we have a very slow gold grind in order to purchase every item that money can afford. Considering what we're dealing with in this seed, this may not be a bad idea. So regarding how much money you need to purchase everything, oh boy, let's at least crunch some numbers here. So, the best shield that one can buy is the Silver Shield at 14,800. The best armor that money can buy is the Magic Armor at 7,700. That right there is 22,500. Let's also take in the Flame Sword into account. That's 9,800. In order to get the best items that money can buy, we need 32,300 gold. Hopefully I did not forget to carry a 1 somewhere with that explanation. Considering that the Death Necklace chest only gives 100 to 125 gold or so, this may take a while. Silverfire is thinking about the full plate and broadsword. The full plate, I believe, was also available in Rimeldar, while the broadsword was in Cole. Our runners have accessed both locations, I believe. Ouijawii is back in Swamp Cave and is going to the other end. Perhaps we may find our missing locations. Welcome back to the second continent, where we have found Cantlin. The first shop of Cantlin had nothing of use. The key shop is always useful, though. Big D530 asks if we have seen enemies with Dragon Lord 2 breath yet. We have. At least we've seen Druins with it. The second shop did not appear to have anything of worth. How about this third and final one? We have a large shield purchase, folks, and a second location for the silver shield. And that defensive boost may help Ouijawii, as we now have a red dragon sighting. Unfortunately, the red dragon is the last thing Ouijawii sees on this life. Back to the king we go. And Synth has stopped the grind at 14,914. Silverfire's hunch may be correct. Going for the magic shield, but also going for the count right now. Both runners know where the coordinates are, but only Ouijawii knows that it's the flute. Now, Ouijawii is back in Hawksnest. I admit I'm curious as to why, but apparently we're going to attempt to grind in this area. Considering that the golem here has... Hold on. We have a level 14 sighting. The numbers 14, 9, 1, 3. Our attack power is improving, but really we need the sword. Erdrick's sword will grant an additional 20 power on top of that broadsword. Max of 40. Lord of the Synth has lost track of the count. And the unfortunate thing is, he was right there, I believe. And a reset. Did I miss something? Oh, resetting to save the gold. Makes sense. The next experience level is going to be 15, where we need 7,500. Lord of the Synth is trying to count again. It is imperative to be careful when one counts. If we encounter an enemy along the way, then we have to hope to not lose the count. Silverfire wonders when you should forego counting and just rescue Princess Gwaelin. I honestly do not know. I am not well versed, and Lord of the Synth did not find the fairy flute. At this point, oh! Demon Knights also have Dragon Lord 2 Breath. Someone else had asked about that in chat earlier. And chat is realizing that Lord of the Synth was searching 37 west, which is correct, but going 5 south instead of 5 north. Coordinates are inverted. Well, north-south inverted, at least. So Lord of the Synth may end up rescuing Princess Gwaelin and then use her love in order to locate the fairy flute. This grind may be slow and steady for Ouijawii, but it is at least a grind that is positive in experience. This may not be the best experience in another sense, but at the very least, Ouijawii has everything necessary except for the final stats. Fortunately, the enemies in Hawk's Nest are at least easy to work with. In the meantime, Lord of the Synth is also in Swamp Cave, I believe. Going to the... Yep, going to the other end. And Lord of the Synth is double-checking those coordinates. So, Lavkian has just joined and wants a recap. I can certainly give one. We started at Tangential Beach, where the enemies were strong. However, we were able to gain Heal More at level 2 and Hurt More at level 4. The cave nearby was Garen's grave. Ouijawii was able to enter it early in order to gain access to the Fighter's Ring and a key to the treasury, which allowed for the early Stones of Sunlight and Death Necklace. We had a late discovery of Mountain Cave, which is where the Silver Harp was, and Cole had Erdrick's token. The Fairy Flute was in the Overworld location, where LordoftheSynth has finally found it. And so the old man is going back to the garden. Both of our runners have the Fairy Flute, and so we can all breathe a sigh of relief. Erdrick's armor is in Hawk's Nest, but I believe LordoftheSynth did find Hawk's Nest, actually. Just hasn't fought the Golem yet. And yes, it is a Golem that is guarding Erdrick's armor. A high HP Golem. But first, a level up to 15. The numbers: 1, 5, 2, 13, and we have finally learned the spell of return. In the meantime, LordoftheSynth has just gone up to level 12. So, the green numbers in magic points. Ideally, we would like a minimum of 12 heal mores in order to make a dive into Sharlock Castle work, along with taking out the Dragon Lord. The problem? The rest of our stats don't look so good. We have kinda decent defense, but, well, Dark Shadow said it best. Both of our runners are on a strength HP build, but the stats don't really look good for strength or HP. This is partially why I should not roll Dragon Warrior Randomizer seeds. Every seed of mine tells a story, and this story is, well, among other things, where is Sharlock Castle and where is Breckenary? We still haven't found those two. Wait, we see a town! That's Garenham. We already found that. Never mind. I had forgotten that Garenham was located on the second continent. But with Ouijawii still using this unconventional grind of Hawk's Nest's normal enemies here, we are hoping to go to 9,750 experience points for level 16. So Lavkian, right now LordoftheSynth is on the other end of Swamp Cave. So we have found Garenham here, we have found Cantlin here. And hopefully we will find a lot more. And yes, the Guardian in the Swamp Cave is a blue dragon. So, regarding the stats of the blue dragon that is located there, we did see it a few times, but I don't recall it doing anything other than fighting. Maybe it did cast a spell and I just missed it, but considering the normal stats a blue dragon has, that's kind of nasty. Though admittedly, it may be a more efficient grind than the golem, which I believe had rolled close to, if not exactly, max HP. Alright, Lord of the Synth is exploring more of the second... I think we have just seen Breckenary, folks. There we are, folks. Breckenary has been found. Now we just have to find Sharlock Castle. Is Sharlock on the first continent or the second continent? We don't know yet, but right now, Lord of the Synth is going to recharge here. I mean, it's only 6 gold. And, oh yeah, the shop. Nothing of value. And Lord of the Synth is retreating? Folks, unless I had missed something, Sharlock isn't there. And Archfield Monk is confirming in chat. Where is Sharlock? It is strange to go this long without seeing Sharlock. We have found more swamp. And Chad is trying to give... There we are, folks! We have found Sharlock! It is not just a model. All we had to do was go north by northeast of the swamp cave. That was kind of a bad location, I think. But at least Lord of the Synth has that knowledge. Now, I don't know if it's much of an advantage, though, because Ouijawii has the stat gain advantage right now. And if level 16 is enough, Ouijawii is going to attempt to dive Sharlock Castle for that sword. But first, we still need a bit more experience points. 9750 is the magic number. As Lord of the Synth now has the rainbow drop in his possession. At this point, both of our runners are looking forward to having Erdrick's sword. But I think both runners may know at this point we have to dive for it. Will Lord of the Synth dive with just the club, though? That is not clear yet. Level 16. Here are the numbers. 3, 2, 0, 16. I don't think that's what we were looking for, folks. We have 3 stats in green, but 3 stats in white. We are going to level 17. Even if we are to receive Erdrick's sword, it will not be enough. The formula for Dragon Lord 2 is a bit different from other enemies. Take your attack power, subtract 100. At this point, we're already at a negative value, so at best we're dealing 1 damage due to kindness or RNG. Once you subtract 100, divide by 2 to get the max possible value, and divide by 2 again for the min. Oh, and thank you, Dark Shadows, it was 16 health. I had misspoke, but unfortunately, it's still not enough here. We need more health, but Ouijawii wants to grind in Hawksness. I do not believe Ouijawii has found where Sharlock is located. So the grind begins again. The magic number this time is 12,000 experience points. Lord of the Synth has finished the Garen's Grave Dive. So at this point, we do have to wonder, what is it going to take this seed? Armor Knights are not causing too many problems for Lord of the Synth right now. They still hit hard, which is why they are sometimes called AK-47s. But they certainly offer a lot of experience, and enough to go up to level 13. Unfortunately, that was the very bad level. And Dark Shadows puts it very aptly. The Death Necklace has a bonus feature in this version of the Randomizer, or at least this flag set for the Randomizer. Both the Death Necklace and the Cursed Belt will curse you. They will squeeze tightly on your body and you are unable to remove them. For those that have played Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, picture it as if you were Princess Styla and wearing the leotard of clinginess. The only way to remove a cursed item is to speak to someone in Brecconary. However, the Death Necklace at least offers a risk-reward system. If you put on the Death Necklace, you will gain 10 attack power at the cost of 1/4 of your health. However, you only get one death necklace in the entire game. Once that necklace is removed by the folks at Breckenary, you cannot get it back. So it is a one-time shot. Fortunately, when Lord of the Synth does make the eventual Sharlock dive, he will have higher defensive power thanks to the silver shield purchase that I had missed. Again, for those that wish to try this out and hopefully have better luck than our runners, by all means, download the Randomizer and join our Discord. You will find plenty of other warriors that will provide tips on how to navigate Alefgard and defeat the Dragon Lord. I also wish to make sure that you follow our runners right now, as they are giving it their all. And do not forget about my tracking partner, Archfield Monk. Ouijawii is trying to get closer, while Lord of the Synth is going to explore in some direction. I don't know where exactly. Maybe... Tramp Royal asks about if there are any good spots to grind against Magiwyverns. I think Hawksnest has a few, but the problem is Hawksnest has a lot of enemies. Admittedly, many of them offer decent experience. Lord of the Synth is back in Hawksnest. And here are some Star Wyverns. These were what I was thinking of, not the Magiwyverns. My apologies. So the tricky thing here, the golem on this Guardian tile has near, if not all, max HP. Lord of the Synth needs to do this fight in order to get Erdrick's armor. Fortunately, the Fairy Flute is still in possession. And McGrew is thinking that HP is random per encounter, huh? Okay, that was not what I had in my notes, but that is actually good to know. One more enemy away, and we will go to level 17. Here come the numbers. 7, 1, 12, 3. Not enough. Folks, we are going to 18. Tramp Royale, excuse me, is asking if Lord of the Synth did a search. Not yet, because this is the first time that Lord of the Synth is actually going for a victory against this golem. Wait, according to Dark Shadows, is this really Lord of the Synth's second go post-search? Because I could have sworn that this is Lord of the Synth's first time going for this golem. Or at least hoping for a first-time success, I should say. There may be minor misunderstanding in chat here, and I apologize if that is the case. Okay, folks, I believe Lord of the Synth does have the armor, walked across the swamp tiles, and it did not flash red. So we at least have confirmation. Both runners have Erdrick's armor, both have the broadsword, both have different shields, but now it's a matter of where they go. Ouijawii is back in Cantlin, probably going to explore the second continent. However, Lord of the Synth, where is he going? Right now, he's heading south towards Cole, I believe. And for those that were wondering about the blue dragon, here you go. So far, this blue dragon appears to be just fighting. No more because it got knocked out, but what can you do? And Ouijawii knows that that town is Breckenary, not even going in. Disrespect. At this point, Ouijawii knows that the first continent has Sharlock Castle. The question is, how quickly can he find it? I do believe Ouijawii is heading in the right direction. He was heading in the right direction, and now a golem has found him. Never mind, we run away. Lord of the Synth, meanwhile, has fought a couple of armored knights and is now up to level 14. And Lord of the Synth is the first to enter Sharlock Castle. Alright folks, let's have a little bit of fun. We know that Erdrick's sword is located within Sharlock Castle somewhere. 6 within the Pyramid Treasury on the final floor, and 1 in the vanilla Erdrick sword location, sometimes known as the Judge's Table. By either location or pyramid value, name it. Dark Shadows believes it's the Judge's Table, aka the vanilla Erdrick sword location. McGrew is going for the $100 chest. And Ouijawii has also found Sharlock Castle. Busmaster going for 200, as is Mr. Kelly R. Flewin. Wally going for, I believe, the $300 chest. I will go for the $50 chest, which is bottom left. Unfortunately, Armored Knights have chosen to kick Lord of the Synth out. Jadis TK, Ouijawii has a max MP of 105, but this is primarily a dive for the Erdrick's sword, which is the real big thing that our runners are missing. So if we have to take a death here, as long as we find the sword, there we go. Lavkian is going for the $300 chest. But Lord of the Synth is going for the golem grind, intentionally, I might add. So this is interesting how Ouijawii was going for the enemies surrounding the golem in Hawk's Nest, while Lord of the Synth wants the big piece of stone himself. Also, for those of you that have missed your red dragons, here they are. And McGrew, our developer for the randomizer, brings up a good point. If we open enough chests in Sharlock Castle, then we can have a gold grind. Well, the slow one anyway. Similar to what Lord of the Synth did earlier. With that 93 agility, able to run away. As we are approaching the Pyramid Treasury. Once I see the transition to the final floor, guessing stops. Lord of the Synth checking out the other Guardian tile, it is a blue dragon. Ouijawii knew of this information before, but Lord of the Synth may choose to go for this one instead. The wizard survives an excellent move, also known as a Kaishin no Ichigeki. Alright, guessing stops. We have entered the Pyramid Treasury. We just have to take care of the guards first. We have a key to open it. 150. A key. 100. Gold. 50. Gold. 200. Nothing. 300. Nothing. 250. Nothing! It is in its vanilla location at the judge's table! I honestly don't know what to say about that, but here's level 18. Here are some more numbers. 0993. No strength gained, McGrew. No strength gained. We are going to level 19, folks. We have 13 heal mores. Even if we were to get Erdrick's sword, that would only be an additional 20. That would be 116 attack power. 16 divided by 2 is 8. If you feel confident dealing between 4 and 8 damage every swing, maybe. But I would not do it. So for those that are not used to finding Erdrick's sword in its vanilla location, aka the judge's table, well, here it is. Ouijawii, I hope you're not too upset with me for rolling this seed. However, we still are looking for level 19. Level 19 will take place at 16,500 HP. It's just, wow. I still cannot believe we actually had a vanilla Erdrick's sword. And thanks to all that gold that was gained, Ouijawii may end up being able to purchase the silver shield, which may help, but we need to find a town quickly, just so that we can recharge our magic. Fortunately, all this walking without encounters will recharge Ouijawii's health in case we do end up with an encounter. There we go. passing on that town. That may have been Hawksness. And Dark Shadows confirming that was Hawksness. Hark! It's Hawksness! However, I think Ouijawii has gotten a little lost. In the meantime, is Lord of the Synth going to attempt to dive back into Sherlock or grind on other enemies? So according to McGrew, he thinks that Ouijawii is looking for the bonus cave, aka the Stones of Sunlight cave. There was gold in that chest. But instead finds Rimmildar. There is the bonus cave, folks. Gold chests keep on recharging, so time to get that silver shield. Lord of the Synth is still going after that golem. Alright, Ouijawii has everything money can buy, and then some. So we're technically missing Princess Gwaelin, but I don't think either runner cares. Love may not be worth it at this point. Remember, folks, both of our runners are 2 and 2. A win will put them into the brackets immediately. A loss will force them to go into play-in race. As far as what put Lord of the Synth behind, Ouijawii was the first to successfully go into Garen's grave at the start. Or, Ouijawii was the first to do that, excuse me. And was able to get the fighter's ring and the key, and that fighter's ring helped open things up. Lord of the Synth, meanwhile, was struggling a little bit more to get the levels necessary in order to feel more comfortable going into Garen's grave. But at this point, we are at level 18, and we still do not have the stats we need in order to finish this seed. And Rush Light 2V is correct as well. Early enemies had a lot of Hurtmore spells. This entire seed has been grueling, but bearable up until this point. And we have seen a number of level ups that were 0 strength. We actually had one level that was 0 strength, 0 agility, 2 HP, and 1 MP. I may have the HP and MP reversed, but it's effectively that. But Ouijawii is back in Sherlock Castle. And is going to grind out over here. The folks in chat are talking about damaged broken enemies, so I will bring that up again. As your agility gets high enough, you cause the potential to have enemies only damage you for single-digit numbers. That is damage broken. A number of enemies are damage broken already. The list so far includes wizards, star wyverns, werewolves, green dragons, axe knights, blue dragons, and stone men. Armored knights are close to being damage broken. 5 defense points away, which means 5 agility away. Both Lavkian and Migru and Tilo Tilo as well are thinking the blue dragon back in Swamp Cave may be the best approach. However, this approach in Sherlock Castle is not bad either. It is taking a little bit to actually encounter the enemies, but then again, if you encounter a stone man and only receive, 9 damage or less, I'd probably laugh it off as well and just go for it here. Ah, there's the red dragon. It is unfortunate that we can easily hit for 20 or less with our physical attack right now, but at least the red dragon goes down. One more good enemy will take us to level 19. A red dragon will do. And Lord of the Synth is still sticking with the golems, but only has 1 heal more left. Alright folks, level 19. The numbers 6, 5, 43, and 4. Look at those numbers. We may have a possibility of a Death Necklace play here. The Death Necklace will give us 10 extra attack power at the cost of 25% of our health. Remember that this is an old NES game where floating point math is not really a thing. So 144 times 75%, that's 108. 108 with 14 heal mores, and assuming the damage that we have, 132 minus 100 is 32. 8 to 16. That's 12 damage on average. I think that's doable. And I think Ouijawii agrees. if you were a runner that would have sold the death necklace early on, you may end up regretting it at this point. But yeah, Ouijawii is going for it. And of course, our developer, McGrew, is thinking this could also work without the death necklace, but it may be closer. Right now, Ouijawii is trying to use herbs to heal up. Not a bad idea. Lord of the Synth has gone up to level 15 without me noticing. We still have a torch, let's use it to light our way through. Axe Knights have been encountered, but Ouijawii wants to run away, saving the MP. Having the magic for Heal More is crucial. There has been some discussion in chat about how much health Dragon Lord has in his second phase. I will not reveal that until we have a victory. Alright, Ouijawii is going through the final passageways. Oh, the final floor. We had seen the Pyramid Treasury earlier, and it was glorious for some. For our runners, well, at least for Ouijawii's sake, hopefully he was able to get a laugh. But we are not done yet. We still have one more forced encounter, one more Guardian tile before the Dragon Lord himself. That brick tile at the south, that's where we will encounter the final Guardian. And it is a blue dragon. Apparently the blue dragon is not exactly damage broken. It still dealt 13 damage, but it is close enough for most runners' purposes. The death necklace has been equipped. As such, Ouijawii is a fool. But perhaps a knowledgeable fool at that. Dragon Lord 1 has wasted its turns. We are guaranteed to get an attack off on Dragon Lord 2 before needing to heal more. But we have a double. We deal minimum 8. Closer to max 15. Time to recover. And this Dragon Lord is angry, firing at all cylinders, literally. There's 9. We are at 61. 8, another minimum. 46, safe heal more strategy, I like it. 10 is a little better. 9, another minimum. I believe we are at 88. $11 makes 99. And again, this Dragon Lord is breathing fire like crazy right now. 5 heal mores left. It is possible, but we need good rolls. $13 should help. 133. $14 will definitely help. And 11, 158 is the damage dealt. Actual value, 153. But Ouijawii does not care about actual values of health. He cares about the fact that he has gone to 3 and 2 in the Swiss stages. Get your GGs out in chat, folks, because Ouijawii has finished with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 50 seconds. Let's let the credit theme roll a little bit before we swap audio sources here, because this is a victory we need to savor. In the meantime, Ouijawii has gone up to level... Lord of the Synth has gone up to level 16. And so, I wonder if Lord of the Synth will make a dive. And Ouijawii will come in shortly, folks. Just needs a bit to calm down. Though considering how this seed ended up, who can blame him? And yeah, Lord of the Synth is going for a sword dive. let's attempt an audio swap here. And we are not going to have audio on that regard, so I am going to do something a little untraditional here. Considering how this seed has gone, it has been very much like you were going back and forth, like you were trapped in a horse race. So I hope no one is going to object that I do this. In the meantime, while I have subjected chat to, some memes, we have Ouijawii in the commentary booth. GG and my apologies.
Oh, then, yeah, thank you. You know what? Whenever you roll a seed, I expect something like this, so I'm not surprised.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Well, I mean, it was a fun seed. It just took forever to get any stats. It felt like, MTI would have loved this one.
Yeah, I mean, we had that 0012, or was it a 0021? I've lost track.
That, and even though we had to hurt more, there was like nowhere to grind. The two enemies on the spike tiles were not like something you want to use hurt more on, and I couldn't find a zone that was decent, so I just ended up grinding in Hawksness, and I guess it worked out okay.
Funny enough, Lord of the Synth chose to go with the Golem strategy a little bit early on, and then tried the Blue Dragon for a bit. But it just, there wasn't really a good spot. You were right.
After my first grind in Hawksness, on the way back to Hawksness, I found a golem, and I had to put him to sleep 3 times, and I'm like, well, that's 24 seconds right there, just using the flute for every fight on average. I just didn't feel like it was going to be worth it to grind on him.
Yeah, especially that first golem, it felt like it had close to max HP.
I think he took a couple shots of espresso before I started that fight. He just did not stay asleep.
I mean, I don't know what you can do about that, so... So, as far as what ended up helping you win this whole thing, you were able to take an early lead thanks to the early dive in Garen's grave. How did you feel finding that fighter's ring in one of the first 3 chests?
Pretty good. I didn't know what enemies were outside yet, but I figured if it was a slime or... I knew there was a slime, but he had like hurt more or something. But yeah, 2 strength at that point was huge. Definitely. I was really happy to see that.
Yeah, red slimes had hurt more. Plenty of enemies had hurt more. Even the normal slimes had hurt more, actually.
Oh yeah, I never got to see that.
And Druids had Dragon Lord 2 breath. I don't know if you encountered that. Oh, and sleep as well.
Sleep, so, yeah, I saw that one time, yep.
But honestly, once you got out of that batch of enemies, it was semi-reasonable for the rest. Semi. Of course, you had to worry about, finding Mountain Cave and only getting the harp out of that, and then hoping that, you were hoping that the golems were kind. I mean, that proved to be a stopping point. And then, where was the strength?
Yeah, the lack of strength and the lack of hit points on a strength HP build was really confounding for sure. I didn't know like how long I should stay in Hawksness. I wanted to eventually find Charlock because I didn't know where it was, but I kept thinking to myself, I don't think I'm strong enough to go there yet.
Yeah, it was just I understand the hesitation. I don't know if you found Charlock before you did at level 16, but it's just, yeah, I don't blame you for your grinding decision. And then, of course, one of the final trolls. How did you enjoy finding Erdrick's sword at the judges' table at the top?
Of course it was going to be there. I knew it as soon as I saw those empty chests up top. I'm like, this is just going to be golden empty chests. Thought that walking in, and what do you know, it was. But luckily I had enough magic points saved up just in case that happened. I was thinking about that on the way there, so I was able to get down to the sword. And then when I was fighting the red dragon, I'm like, oh my god, I want to get the silver shield. I can't die, and I need to save some MP to get out of here. So if you'd have dodged that last attack, who knows what would have happened, because I wouldn't have been able to buy the silver shield, and that Dragon Lord fight might have went very, very differently.
You would have only had 93 defensive power, and oh boy. And Lord of the Synth is now mentioning in the race room not having good luck with RNG either. Right now, he has dove into Charlock hoping to find Erdrick's sword. I don't think he has found the treasury yet.
Yeah, and Charlock was no fun either. I mean, once I got there, I thought to myself, this doesn't look like a great place to grind. There's red dragons on pretty much every floor, except I think the last one. And armored knights everywhere, and they drain your MP fast. So, yeah, even Charlock didn't look like it was anything good there as far as gaining experience until you're like a level or two, before you're ready to go. So that was a really tough seed, but it was a fun one. Interesting. There was like, what, 4 towns? Yeah, there were 4 towns on the second continent, all like within a short walk, weren't there?
It eventually got to that point, and oh boy, Lord of the Synth is about to receive the bad news, folks. Oh boy, and not enough for a heal more if enemies are on the chests. There's the magic key. There is the gold. There is more gold. There's nothing. There is nothing. And there is nothing.
Oh, rough.
And he is just astonished, just staring. There we go, finally moving. It's someone in chat. I'm going to try to quote them to describe this seed here. But they called this seed beautiful. Horrible, but beautiful.
It's like one of those B movies that's so bad it's good, right?
That's one way of putting it. But look on the bright side. I had stated prior to rolling this seed, if you can beat whatever I roll, you can probably handle anything that's rolled in the brackets. And you have just punched your ticket in with this 3-2 standing. How do you feel about that?
It's cool to have some security, but I think it's single elimination. So, I mean, either way, I'm playing at worst one more match. I figured if I lost tonight, it really wouldn't bother me too much, because then, that big race with all the people in it, sounds like it's going to be exciting to watch. I really wouldn't have minded being a part of that.
Well, we plan on having 3 or 4 streams showcasing the event as Lord of the Synth finally picks up Erdrick's sword. But still needs more levels. So yeah, perhaps if you would like to help with commentating or tracking one of them, we could use all the help we can get for it.
Oh yeah, I could probably do either tracking or restream for that race for sure.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I trained you on restreaming, so if you're able to help with that, so much the better. Let's see. When is it scheduled? Ah, this coming Wednesday, September 12th, 9 p.m. If necessary, we will have a play-in race, but I believe we will have it, as Lord of the Synth now goes up to level 17 and realizes that that is not enough.
He's not going to be happy when he sees 18 either.
Nope. Oh well.
I hit 19 and I saw, I think it was like 4 or 5 strength. Maybe it was 6. I'm just like, no, I got to go to 20 and then 40 hit points. Well, then, I think we're okay then. That was a surprise.
Alright. Alright, folks, I have hijacked the music enough. Enjoy your Dragon Warrior remixes as we conclude this interview, because goodness, this has been... what a seed.
Thanks for having me in. Yeah, enjoy the rest of the race. I'm going to hop in and watch.
Alright, go for it. So, yeah. Meme time is over. Now it is serious time. Lord of the Synth is at level 17. This is, even with full MP and plenty of heal mores, this is not enough for a grind. Right now, just hoping to learn that the blue dragon is the final guardian. And even the old man is trying to cheer Lord of the Synth on. We can keep this going for somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes. However, depending on how quickly Lord of the Synth either finishes or forfeits, we may not have an interview. The damage broken werewolf is proving okay, close to damage broken, because we got hit for 11 and then 10 and then 12. There we go. Alright, Lord of the Synth, mission accomplished. Enjoy your defeat by the blue dragon. Now go up to level 19. Or just wait. Lord of the Synth may be contemplating. Alright, still going to push on. Another blue dragon, but Lord of the Synth wants to go back to Sharlock. Or Hawk's Nest, perhaps. That was an intentional dive into Hawk's Nest. And Ouijawii feels wrecked. That is one way of putting it, folks. This seed wrecks you. But fortunately, we at least have a finisher. We did not have to re-roll this seed. So, small favors. Back to the golem we go. Using the fairy flute does take time, but it is reliable. And considering the low attack power in general right now, reliability may have to take a backseat to speed at some point. I don't know what that point is. Level 19 had the huge health gain, which allowed for the death necklace to come into effect. Since I don't know if I will be able to stay up for the entirety of this, I am going to play a little what-if game. I am going to temporarily take the death necklace off of Ouijawii. If we were not playing with the death necklace, how would the stats have looked? If we were to go to level 20, well, that's a gain. 21 strength, 14 agility, 5 MP, and 5 HP. So, yeah, Ouijawii, I know you're in chat now, but technically you've already won, so I don't think it matters if you know of this knowledge or not. So, yeah, 20 would have been a good fallback level if you had sold the death necklace. But it would have been a painful one here. And Ouijawii has already trashed the seed. Should this seed be put in the seeds of pain? If so, I have no problem putting it in after this race ends. Alright, Ouijawii thinks it's a pain seed. I cannot blame him one bit. For the rest of you folks, should this seed be immortalized? In the meantime, LordoftheSynth is one golem away from hitting level 18 and learning of the further bad news. I wish to once again thank Ouijawii and LordoftheSynth for putting on a very good show considering what they have had to deal with. Please give them a follow, along with my tracking partner, Archfield Monk, as LordoftheSynth now goes up to level 18 and learns that it is not enough. No strength gained for level 18. So continue the golem grind he shall. We have hit the 2-hour, 35, close to 36-minute mark, and Lord of the Synth is, at the very least, willing to continue this. So for those that wonder how the upcoming rounds will look, I will give a friendly reminder. We are concluding round 5 of the Swiss stages right now. Excuse me. On September 12th, 9 p.m., when we traditionally would have weekly races for Dragon Warrior Randomizer, we will have the play-in race. It will be streamed across 3 or 4 different Randomania channels. Everyone plays 1 seed, and only a few will move on to the bracket stages. September 17th is when we begin the bracket phase. We will have 1 round, then a second round, then quarterfinals, then semis, and then a 3rd place race along with a grand final. Both semifinals and grand finals are best of 3. Excuse me. The seed flags that we have been rolling this entire tournament will stay consistent. The only way we will have Big Swamp, Speed Hacks, or Fast Text is if the runners agree to it for their individual match beforehand. So what we have seen now is what we will see in the bracket stages. Lord of the Synth has about 1,000 experience points left to go. $16,500 is the magic number. And as we hear this orchestral remix of the overworld theme, Lord of the Synth could use a lot of energy. Please provide that energy for Lord of the Synth so that he can finish. Two more golems away. As long as the golems do not wake up too much, Lord of the Synth will have level 19 at the end of this excursion. One more left. You can see Lord of the Synth mashing that attack button. Well, was, but mashing again. Lord of the Synth wants this golem to die. And die it shall. Lord of the Synth, congratulations! You have hit level 19. Will you make the play with that 43 hit point gain? Perhaps he is. Definitely recharging magic right now. And immediately leaving without saving. Lord of the Synth is going to go for it here, folks. Red slimes are not causing a problem. Oh, our runner Ouijawii is wondering how his opponent had the silver shield. So, as you may recall, the treasury had the death necklace. It's a slower grind, but it works. Whereas you were able to earn the silver shield through mostly legitimate means. You only had to grind the last 1500 through the Stones of Sunlight cave. Alright folks, Lord of the Synth is now in Charlock Castle. I am not able to stay up too much later, so we are on one and done policy. Lord of the Synth will get one free shot on air. If Lord of the Synth is unsuccessful, then either he will forfeit, in which case we bring him in for an interview, or he will continue, in which case we send everyone over to his channel directly to offer support. Fortunately, Lord of the Synth still has... Oh! Interesting. Lord of the Synth is down to 110 MP. He has 13 heal mores compared to Ouijawii's 14. I don't believe that one extra heal more made a difference. I believe Ouijawii had 2 or 3 in his pocket. But if we do get a number of low rolls again, that may make the difference. And again, for those that wish to try the Dragon Warrior Randomizer themselves, all you have to do is go to McGrew's GitHub page, DW Randomizer. You can get the release there. You can also join our Discord and chat with other fellow warriors and tell your tales of victory and woe. And woe is what this seed brought. This is officially the slowest seed that I have rolled this tournament. Lord of the Synth has made it to the final floor. Still in very good shape. The stone men are not causing problems. Over the final bridges. The stone man fails to be a troll. Time for one more blue dragon. And the blue dragon managing to get the first attack. So now, Lord of the Synth uses an herb. And puts on the death necklace. As such, one more time, thou art a fool. The Dragon Lord was able to get a Hurt More spell in this time. But no back attack. Starting with 8. Able to get a double attack. And 14. And another double. The Dragon Lord is finally breathing fire, but in this case, that early assault that took place on Ouijawii is not there. But here comes all that fire. 76 damage dealt so far, assuming I have counted correctly. More minimal rolls. Up to 93. A 101. The magic number is 153. But only 4 heal mores left. 10 should help. And 9, well, we're at 128. This may be a lock at this point. Especially with that 15. And that 11 does it. By 1 hit point, Lord of the Synth manages to defeat the Dragon Lord and allow peace to reign throughout Alefgard. Get your GGs out in chat, folks. Because Lord of the Synth has managed to finish a nightmare of a seed with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 50 minutes, 49 seconds. So, there you go, folks. Just what a seed. That's all there is to it. What a seed. Even though Lord of the Synth was not victorious here, he should hopefully feel proud that he was able to defeat this one.
Hey guys.
Lord of the Synth, GG, and my apologies.
Oh, you and I need to talk.
Then let us talk. Start things off.
Well, I wasn't dumb enough to try and hold on to the gold in the throne room for too long. But geez, everything that could possibly go wrong in a seed went wrong for me tonight.
You had mentioned in the race room that you were receiving a lot of bad luck or bad RNG. I did not notice a lot of bad RNG unless you're talking about all of the enemies casting Hurt More and the few enemies that had Dragonlord 2 Breath firing them at every opportunity.
Yeah, everywhere.
Unfortunately, there's not much that could be done. The early game had a lot of those enemies. The mid game didn't have as many, but trying to find good enemies to grind on...
This seed was a nightmare for grinding.
Yes, it was.
You saw me make several failed dives into Sharlock for Erdrick's Sword. I was trying to do that so I could grind Golem in a not super duper slow way, like I ended up having to do with the broadsword.
And even then, the sword was at the judge's table.
Yeah, when I got to the treasury and it was empty, I'm like, of course the seed will also have vanilla Erdrick's Sword.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever rolled that, for the record. I'm surprised it took me that long. Oh boy. So I am going to take a guess that you do not want me to roll any more seeds for you for any match.
You know, it happens. It doesn't matter who's rolling. Although it is fun to do the "don't roll my seeds anymore" meme.
There are some who do take it seriously, but I am aware enough to know that I can at least take it in stride. Someone has to roll it, after all. But let's see here. I mean,
well, now I've been punted off to the plane race, which is the big disappointing thing about this seed.
Someone had to go in. It was unfortunate that it was you. Though, there was one big difference that may have determined who would have gone into that play-in race. And that was your early game.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you recognized Garen's grave when you first entered it.
I did. And so I made the dive for the 3 chests and got the magic key and got into the treasury.
That dive took place the successful dive was much later than Ouijawii's. Ouijawii was able to go in within 2 or 3 dives, I believe, and was able to get the fighter's ring early, which was enough to get to level 2 quickly enough.
Oh, right. Yeah, I opted to grind out a few levels first because I didn't know what was going to be in the grave. In retrospect, I should have just dived those 3 chests immediately because it was right there. I could keep going back over and over and over again. And then completing the grave. That happened really late because I'm just going to write off those 2 chests. At that point, the odds of Erdic Sword being in Charlock were pretty high. Then I went back on that decision and wasted time exploring the bottom.
It's the nature of how this goes, so it's unfortunate that, basically Murphy's Law was coming into effect here for you, but
pretty much. And that map,
it was a convoluted one. Starting at Tangigal Beach, the first town was the abandoned/monster-filled town of Hawksnest.
I didn't find my first real town, which was Rimeldar, until like 50 minutes in, like something insane. And at that point, I must have such a huge exploration deficit at this point.
You partially did, though funny enough, I believe you were the first to find Charlock.
That's simultaneously good to hear and also really disappointing.
How was it disappointing?
Because by the time I got around to actually let's find a grind spot, and which I tried multiple ones, I'm like, I've got to be way behind on experience. So finding Charlock first and then having my opponent beat me by half an hour means I was way behind on experience. At least that's the assumption I made.
I can understand that. But go ahead.
I would say, but this is rando, so GG. Hopefully I make it to the brackets and we get a rematch squeegee.
Now, I do not know who is supposed to roll the play-in seed. It may be decided at the last minute. I will warn you, I may be called to restream one of the streams, so do you want to start putting gold in to convince me not to roll it, or are you just going to?
Nah, I'm just gonna roll the dice.
Give it up for Ouijawii and Lord of the Synth, everyone. Please give them a follow if you haven't already.
What a seed.
What a seed indeed.
I actually think 2 hours and 50 minutes, I think that's my longest seed tracking on these splits. I think it might actually be my longest seed ever.
Do you want to know the funny thing is? I was planning on sending us over to Randomania 3, but their seed is already over and they're going through interviews right now. Their seed took an hour and change to finish.
I was about to say, didn't they start like an hour and a half after us?
They did. So, let's at least cover the rest of the Randomania schedule here. So, with, in this case, our match concluding, we now are able to determine who is going into the play-in race. So, the main things that are coming up. Right now, we have a Legend of Zelda Randomizer Pentaforce tournament that has just started between Random Effect and Fred Coughlin. So we will definitely send you over there once we're done with the admin stuff here. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, we have another Pentaforce tournament race between Malagord and Taco channel is likely going to be Randomania. Saturday at 7 p.m. we will have the Final Fantasy Randomizer Challenge race between Romulus and Wilcleosis. And at 9 p.m. on Saturday, we will have the Super Mario Bros. 3 weekly race. The channel is unknown at this point because we don't know how long the Final Fantasy Randomizer Challenge is going to be. But stick to the Randomania family for all of your randomizer action and tournament needs, as it is time to finally send things off over to Randomania Prime for the Pentaforce tournament. This has been a very interesting seed. For Ouijawii and LordoftheSynth, our two runners. For Archfield Monk, our tracker. This is Wolfman 2000 saying, until next time, watch out for golems and Dragon Lord Two Breath and Hurtmore and really everything. We are sending you over to Randomania for the Pentaforce tournament match between Fred Coughlin and Random Effect. Have a good night, everyone.